God bless you and welcome to This Is It. Here we go, guys. Are y'all ready? Let's go. Right here on this poster board behind me, I wrote, Heaven is my throne. The earth is my pedenda, footstool. Coming down from the top, I have a red guy, a red stick figure man. And then inside the same green box is a blue stick figure. And it says, her feet, her pedenda takes hold on hell. That shows you the system. Male is from above. The word pedenda means like generative organs, your penis or your vagina. Heaven is my throne, the earth is my footstool. The word footstool is pedenda, generative organs. Proverbs 5. The feet of a strange woman, her feet go down to hell. Her steps take hold on hell. Her pedenda takes hold on hell, her vagina. That's why Taylor Swift in her video, she's like a little schoolgirl skipping along like, oh, isn't she sweet and innocent? And then you turn it upside down she's holding the balance of scales. She's holding the scales and you turn it upside down and her feet take hold on hell. You get it? I mean, this is as obvious as it gets. I want to show you something that's come to light about the Kaaba. Now, I took this and I made a Kaaba. So this is a Kaaba that I'm kind of retrofitting. There it is in the corner of the Kaaba, right there in the corner, is an indented metal vagina. I'm trying to look for another word. It's literally the corner of the building is the shape of a female vagina, period. And all these guys that walk around like a bunch of insects walking in a circle, their goal is to get to the inside and kiss it and put their head inside of it. And that's no different than when Neo looks at the spoon, because when you look into a concave piece of metal like Neo in the Matrix, and he looks into the concave part of the spoon, what happens? It turns you upside down. That was the whole point of this scene in the Matrix. There is no spoon. It's an illusion. There he is, upside down. See it?
Do not try and bend the spoon. That's impossible. Instead, only try to realize the truth.
What truth?
There is no spoon.
There is no spoon?
Then you'll see that it is not the spoon that bends, it is only yourself.
You have to realize there is no spoon, and then you'll find out it's yourself that bends. Understand? It's the same exact thing with the Kaaba, and I want to show you one of the most remarkable, obvious, ridiculously obvious manifestations that the pit has arisen. Now watch this. Again, this is a replica of the Kaaba, and on the corner, there's the replica of the metal indention. That's the female genitalia that they walk around and they put their head inside of it. That's their goal. Well, when you put your head inside of it, just like I showed you on Neo Spoon, it inverts you. That's the female cornerstone. That's their cornerstone. When I say they, those that dwell in the pit. Their cornerstone. And their host buddy system is used to destroy angelic beings from heaven that come into the system. Now, I'm just going to, I'm going to speak freely. Guys, in slang, in like U.S. slang, you've heard a girl's genitalia referred to as a box. I'm sure if you've been around, as long as I have, that's one of the terms like, oh, yeah, she's got such a hot box, whatever. That's just a reality. Okay, now, if you consider it, any light that goes in there, and that represents the female genitalia, goes into a box. From the beginning of the world, all the light that went into the first female goes into a system. And it becomes a dualistic system. And if that dualistic system doesn't get rectified, the energy that got trapped inside that system, because once a sperm goes into a female egg, then it comes out of that female, but it's light in a box. You are light in a box, and the box is your host body. Just like the song from forget the band, Man in a Box. I'm a man in a box. He's right. So we are light in a box. Okay, now I want you to consider that the box, the female energy or the female host body system that houses her energy that takes hold on hell. Okay, well, when you get the male energy in there, now you have energy that's attached to heaven through one eye. The other eye goes down to the pit. So now you have a kingdom divided. The only way to fix that is Jesus on the cross in the middle. He takes the middle position from Barabbas, which means son of the Father. So you're the son of the Father. You get out of your punishment, and Jesus will take the cross for you, and he will rectify the good you and the evil you by converting you, turning quite around. And the center position of the cross, instead of you being like Peter upside down, gets turned right side up, and then that fixes the system, and then you're made whole in Christ, and your eyes become single, and you have two eyes that become up. But in the course of the earth, the energy that's gone into the system is going down and being fed to the pit. Her feet take hold on hell. Okay, at a certain point, hell rises up out of the abyss. Hell comes up out of the abyss, or, you can call them one and the same. Hell, Allah, it says in Isaiah, I will ascend above the stars of hell. The word is Allah. They worship Allah. That's one of there's, I think, 91 names for God in Islam. Allah means to ascend. Okay, so have y'all seen Barack Obama's library? Let me show you what's going on, because his library is an exact representation of the ascension of the Kaaba, representing female. Again, let me turn this correctly. Representing the female that inverted all the male. So the female, represented by this, is their cornerstone, inverted all the male, and that's their cornerstone. But our cornerstone is turning the world upside down and catching them. And then we're made whole in Christ. And then we no longer have any fear of death. Death is no longer burdensome, because you've resolved the whole system and the equation. It's like, wow, the Lord set you free. You'll know the truth, and the truth will set you free. There's an up and there's a down you. There's a right side up you and there's an upside down you. It's the most obvious thing in the world. There's a male you and there's a female you. And when you discover the down one, oh my gosh, then it's like, oh my gosh, I'm in a prison of sorts. That's right. You're like in the Matrix. Did you know in the Bible the word womb, W-O-M-B, means matrix? Before I formed you in your mother's womb, I knew you. Okay, well, watch this. Let's just go to the show notes. Seen recently, like, on YouTube and other places, they're talking about Obama's library compared to something like Donald Trump is proposing. And they're kind of making fun of Obama and saying, look how cool Trump's is compared to Obama's. But Obama's is an absolute representation of the Kaaba, the box that captured all the male energy, representing the pit, the god of the pit, of the abyss. By the way, do you know what they say is in the Kaaba? You know what they say is in it? The broken fragments of the stone from the Garden of Eden, Adam and Eve. Like the broken stone. Oh, like, y'all remember the Lord took me to the desert in a canyon and gave me two halves of the same rock, representing that I would be the one to show you how to put the stone back together. And the Kaaba actually, they say, houses the fragmented rock from the Garden of Eden, representing male and female split. Now watch this. Let's look at the the Obama Library. It's a big chunk of stone, rock, and look what's at the top. Well, now let me just slide me over here, and let me just show you what's at the top. Oh, wow. It's almost like the Kaaba was an elevator that went from the pit and went right to the top. And let's see. And there it is. Oh my goodness. Let's see. There we go. Bam. So it's like Obama knew to put the Kaaba at the top as the cornerstone. I will ascend. Who will ascend? Lucifer. Female, posing as male and female. Host bodies. I will ascend above the stars of El, the Almighty God. The princes of El, through the host body system. Now, if that's not as obvious as it gets, I know this guy named Jonathan Kleck that did a video showing the Antichrist Unveiled, the sun rising from the west, called the Antichrist Unveiled. Did 8 million views, and then they came and shot down his channel. But
the logo for Barack Hussein Obama and his presidency is the rising sun over the stripes of the American flag. It's symbolic of the sun rising over the west, or the sun rising from the place of its setting. This is also referred to in the Quran. The coming of the Mahdi will be when the sun rises from the place of its setting. Now I would like for you to listen to this video by the P.P. Simmons Group, and we'll put the pieces together for you shortly after we run the video from Mr. Simmons.
In a heavily resourced and documented article at AmericanThinker.com titled Barack Hussein Sobarka by Jason Kistner, we find some amazing discoveries regarding the identity problem of Barack Hussein Obama. Jason Kistner is an associate professor of criminology at California State University, Fresno. Following is an edited synopsis of that article with an absolutely surprising find by the P.P. Simmons staff at the end of this video. One of the unexplained mysteries in the all but missing documentation of the early life of Barack Obama is the appearance of the name Sobarka as his last name on an official document filled out by his mother. We are in possession of Stanley Ann Dunham Sotoro's 1968 application to extend her 1965 passport for an additional 2 years. Her passport, by the way, is now reportedly destroyed. On the second page of the application, Ann Dunham attempted to exclude her son Barack Obama, or Sobarka, from her passport, but the item has been crossed out, perhaps on the advice of the consulate in Jakarta, as this would have left 7-year-old little Barry passportless, so the exclusion did not happen. The appendage Sobarka seems to indicate a name change or a change in citizenship status for the boy. But there is a very good and surprisingly simple explanation for the seemingly random appearance of the name Sobarka on Obama's mother's passport application. Believe it or not, the reason appears to be linked to Loretta Fuddy. That's right. The same Loretta Fuddy, the Hawaii State Health Director who approved the release of Obama's long-form birth certificate and who recently and mysteriously died in a plane crash off the coast of Molokai. Obama's mother and Loretta Fuddy have one very strange factor in common. Both have been directly linked to the Subud cult, which originated in, of all places, Indonesia, and was founded by the Javanese Muslim Muhammad Sabu. The small cult appears to have around 20,000 members worldwide. Fuddy's cult member name was Diliana. Her official position was regional helper. Note also that the World Subud organization seems to have been based in, of all cities, Chicago. Wow, think about it. Indonesia, Chicago, Hawaii, 3 locales linked directly and very importantly to Obama's life. We also know from a Hawaii Advertiser article that Subud was introduced to Hawaii in the 1960s. Obama's mother was directly linked to Subud by her biographer and New York Times reporter Janie Scott in the book A Singular Woman, The Untold Story of Barack Obama's Mother. This book was reviewed by the New York Times, so this is a heavily documented fact. Loretta Fuddy worked her way up the ranks and became chairwoman of Subud USA, based in Seattle, from 2006 to 2008. But note that of all the persons that could have been installed as director of the State Department of Health in Hawaii, Hawaii chose Fuddy, a leader of a small cult with roots in Indonesia and connections to Barack Obama's mother. Secondly, remember that Fuddy assumed the directorship position in Hawaii in January 2011 after being appointed by Hawaii's governor just a few months before the release of Obama's long-form birth certificate. Changing one's name for spiritual reasons was something frequently done by followers of the cult Subud, and Stanley Ann Soetoro was in fact closely associated with Subud. We know that. It is reasonable then to suppose that Sobarka, the name chosen for Obama on that passport, arose in the same way new names for others, like Deliana Loretta Fuddy did. But remember that the name Sobarka appears in the passport renewal section labeled Amend to Include or Exclude Children. The name Barack Hussein Obama Sobarku is crossed out. This signifies that Obama's mother had apparently decided to exclude Barack from her passport renewal. Apparently, Stanley Ann Dunham Soetoro changed her mind about the exclusion. Perhaps this was done after having been informed by the consulate there that doing so would leave Barack without a passport. But there is another possibility, one just as valid and even simpler. What if Obama's mother was trying to include Obama in the renewal, but she wasn't able to produce a birth certificate, and the Subud name Sobarka simply did not suffice legally? That could explain why the name Sobarka appears nowhere else in any of Obama's documentation of which we are currently aware. But now for the real shocker in this entire matter. The staff at P.P. Simmons did some research and found an old picture of the founder of the cult of Subud, one Mohammed Sabu Sumohadi Wijojo. Do you see anything odd here? Think about it. Fuddy, Obama's mother Dunham, Subud, Hawaii, Chicago, Indonesia, no birth certificate, Sobarka on the passport, a dead Hawaii Department of Health director, the one who conveniently certified Obama's forged and fabricated long-form birth certificate. Are all of these simply odd coincidences, or is there something more here? I have a feeling we will soon know the truth.
An imposing structure, the exterior of the museum building, which has been described as brutalist. Okay, just FYI, there's Art Deco, there's Victorian types of, structures, just different styles, I guess would be a good word, different styles of architecture, Victorian, maybe Art Deco, something like that. But this is called brutalist. Brutalist. Look at this, described as brutalist. Now, you're going to see that again. The central feature on the side of the home of the presidential exhibits a 225-foot tall building that has been dubbed the Obamalisk. Oh, wow. Criticized for some for its brutalist design, the 8-story building will feature an 83-foot tall stained glass window by artist Julie Megretu. Okay, now let me show you something about that. Ready? They're talking about the building, which has been described as brutalist, will feature artist Julie Meretu's Uprising of the Sun. Now, I don't know what you think the odds of that are, but the sun rising from the place of its setting is the coming of the Antichrist, the Mahdi, the hidden Imam. You know, like Joe Biden said he met every Wednesday with his Islamic teacher. Why the hell would he be doing that?
When I became chairman of the Foreign Relations Committee, if you come to my home or my library, you'll see there's a lot of contemporary theology and comparative theology, and I've just been interested in my whole career. And I realized how little I knew about the details of Islam. I knew about it, but I didn't know the difference that existed. I didn't know what the hidden imam. I didn't know what the hidden imam. I didn't know what the hidden imam. So I went out and I hired a full professor, a professor of Islamic studies, who came to work with me. He thought he was only staying a year. Every Wednesday he had lunch with me and he said, "How much more do you need to know?" But all kidding aside, I really mean it.
While Obama was running the Biden administration, Obama tried to commit treason to unseat a duly elected president, making up a total false narrative with James Clapper, Brennan, Comey, and the whole gang. And they tried to commit treason. They committed treason, and they got caught committing treason. Isn't that fascinating? You know what happened in heaven, right? Treason. Okay, let me show you something. It's called the Uprising of the Sun. That's the name of the stained glass window that is in the Obamalisk. And the top corner of the Obama library is absolutely the Kaaba, just having risen to the top, having captured and killed all God's angelic beings using the box, using the female. That's it. That's what happened. Neither shall you touch it, lest you die. Lie with a woman. There's nothing more to debate. Why do you think they stick their head inside the silver corner of the silver corner of the Kaaba? That's a female genitalia that inverts you. I mean, hello. I mean, I'm just like, do y'all understand how stupid obvious this is now? Do y'all remember when Obama gave a speech at Millennial Park? Do y'all remember that in Chicago? Let me show you Millennial Park. Here it is, Millennial Park in Chicago. It was like he made sure he had to have this speech at Millennial Park. You know why? Because it's a park that shows a reptile egg hatching. See this? That's a reptile egg right here. And right here, the amphitheater where you speak from is all peeling open. And look what's going across the street. Let's see. Oh, look at the serpent going across the highway right there into the park. A cockatrice egg, and he shall bring forth a cockatrice egg. I think that's in Isaiah 14, talking about Lucifer. And the phrase "it shall bring forth a cockatrice" comes from King James Version of Isaiah 14:29, prophesying that a serpent's root, a broken rod, a more dangerous cockatrice, venomous snake, fiery flying serpent will arise. It also calls it a basilisk. Did y'all know that the Vatican royal abode of the basilisk? I looked it up years ago. The Lord told me, look up the meaning of it. Vatis Canis. It means divining serpent and royal abode of the basilisk, which is right here. A dangerous serpent. Well, let me ask you a question, and it's just a yes or no answer. Is the Vatican the building itself, is it the shape of a serpent wearing a crown? Yes or no? Is it a basilisk? Well, of course it is. So that means the person talking to you is obviously hearing from the Lord, because the Lord's the one that told me to go on to Google Earth, look at St. Peter's Basilica, and then to come in at a 45-degree angle. He wanted to show me something, and it turns into a serpent wearing a crown, doesn't it? Now let's take a little bit closer look at the Obama Presidential Center. Now, I don't need to know that it's built on 19.3 acres, but you know what 19 means, don't you, in the Bible? It means to slaughter. Like COVID-19, C, the letter C is the number 3 alphanumerically. So 3 is the angel of the abyss. The word Ovid means sheep, and 19 means slaughters. Angel of the abyss, serpent, sheep, slaughter. I wonder what the odds are on that. And then I wonder what the odds are that it's built on. Do we need to know that it's 19.3 acres or 7.8 hectares? Well, not really, but they're going to tell you 19 means slaughter, 3 means angel of the abyss, 7 means to destroy, and 8 means like destruction. 7.8 hectares at Jackson Park. And the museum is dedicated to Barack Obama and will include the Obamalisk, the brutalist design, the eight-story building. Remember, 8 right side up, the star that showed that they associated with our King Jesus, but an inverted star, 8-pointed star, is Lucifer. I wonder what the odds are. An 83-foot tall stained glass window, huh? It's an interesting word, Eber, and it means the region beyond, the other side. Interesting. And it also has origins in wings, like long-winged pinions, long-winged pinion of I thought I read in here previously it has either a bird of prey and or a dove. Yeah, here it is. An eagle of the king of Babylon under the figure of an eagle. The king of Babylon under the figure of an eagle, broad overshadowing wings, as in from the other side. I find that fascinating that's talking about the 83-foot stained glass window that is the uprising of the sun, which I already did an extensive video that the coming of the Mahdi will be the uprising of the sun rising from the place of its setting. And now Obama's turned his whole logo blue. He's taken out the red stripes of the American flag, showing that they've taken out the red and it's all blue. Blue represents the ones from the pit. Takeover accomplished. That's what they're saying. And I can see it. I mean, can't y'all see it? Can't y'all tell how obvious it is? I mean, his library is literally like a vagina elevator from the pit that's risen to the top. I'll say it again. His library is literally a stone monolith that's a vagina elevator from the pit. Her feet take hold on hell and it's risen to the top corner, like now it's the cornerstone here. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. Look, I'll put my picture right over here next to it. There you go. Let's see, where'd it go? Hang on. Tell me that's not the Kaaba. Tell me that's not just the risen Kaaba. No. Going down, going up. So now they've risen from the abyss. And that's just like the Little Deviants commercial. It's
in a world that is bland, colorless and cold, where banality grows like a fungus or a mold, there live the boring sheeple who look just like each other. A darker force rides into town, unleashing demon brothers. Here come the Little Deviants. They come from underground. They're rising from the depths to take those sheeple down. The sheeple are compliant and make for fine ingredients. For customizing anything, here come the Little Deviants.
just like the Little Deviants. They come from underground, unleashing demon brothers. The sheeple, which is all of us, are compliant. They're not fighting against it. And they make for fine ingredients, which means they're being eaten, for customizing anything, which is the new race of beings. For customizing anything, here come the Little Deviants. They come from where? Underground. Just like the Kaaba. They worship with their head to the ground. It's a no-brainer. All the numerology, slaughter, angel of the abyss, destroy, destroy, destroy. 83 foot from the other side. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. It's a no-brainer. The Obama Library is nothing more than the metaphorically the pit having arisen up, having captured the light from the angelic beings, and now it's come up and it's the cornerstone for their new utopia that they think they're about to have. But the Lord's going to destroy it all now with fire. And that's it. And don't forget, Islam is going to be used as God's judgment against all those that haven't turned back to the Lord. Don't forget that. Because, it's not like, oh, you're going to fight and overcome. The end of the world is about the pit rising and taking over. And then there's total destruction. And I saw a new heavens and a new earth. And I told you a long time ago that this is what was going on. And now it's not even remotely arguable. Yes or no? Does Obama have a library that totally mimics the Kaaba having risen up to the top corner? Yes or no? Well, let's see. Well, gee, Johnny, that's exactly what it is. I know, it's exactly what it is. Let's look at a couple more pictures. You know what? Here's a good one. Let's do a side-by-side. Watch this. Dave, there you go. Dave made you a really good side-by-side. There you go. There's the Kaaba. There's the Kaaba where they go around the whole thing and they kiss the vagina on the corner. And it inverts you when you put your head in there. It's a no-brainer. You go into her system. You go into her system represented by the box and it inverts you. The light that goes into the box gets inverted. Duh. Now, all the light over all the years of an earth has gone to the abyss and is being used for a locust race, and that is coming up out of the abyss now. That's it. The mechanics, the ability to see it has been given to this guy that I know who's been showing you this stuff for decades now, and the time is here now. That's why the Lord brought Justin Fuller here, because honestly, I didn't want him to come. I was like, it doesn't make any sense, Lord. I already know he's not operating with integrity. I already knew that before he showed up. And then when he showed up, I found out just what a great lack of integrity he had. And then he was, saying, oh, this is the way I got my license, by craft and deceit and committing felonies in order to what? To be inside the house that the Lord put me in with his name on it. His whole goal was to get inside our house and be there with me, Corey, and Zach. That sounds like the enemy's goal, to try and get in Zion, doesn't it? Y'all get it? Yeah, and the Lord said, I brought him here to show you everyone's at a crossroad now. Because his last name, Fuller, do you know where Fuller comes from? The Lord told me to look it up in the Bible. Look up his last name. Let me show you. Malachi 3, you guys ready? Malachi 3, here we go.
Malachi 3. Behold, I will send my messenger, and he shall prepare the way before me, and the Lord whom ye seek shall suddenly come to his temple, even the messenger of the covenant, whom ye delight in, behold, he shall come, saith the Lord of hosts. But who may abide the day of his coming? And who shall stand when he appeareth? For he is like a refiner's fire, and like fuller's soap. And he shall sit as a refiner and purifier of silver. And he shall purify the sons of Levi, and purge them as gold and silver, that they may offer unto the Lord an offering in righteousness. And he shall prepare the way before me, and the Lord whom ye seek shall suddenly come to his temple.
The Lord
even the messenger of the covenant, whom ye delight in, behold, he shall come, saith the Lord of hosts.
Sought out my house.
But who may abide the day of his coming?
Do you know how?
And who shall stand when he appeareth?
Wrong.
For he is like a refiner's fire,
and like fuller's soap. The Bible says, let your yes be yes and your nay be nay. And all he could do is, I swear to God, I swear. I'm like, dude,
and he shall purify the sons of Levi, and purge them as gold and silver, that they may offer unto the Lord an offering in righteousness.
I'm like, Lord, I already know it's the other spirit. What's the point? I don't get it. To confront him. So I confronted him. I'm like, no, now you're lying, bro. And now I see everything very clearly. And now here's what the Lord's telling me. You're at a crossroad, Justin, which means justice. And this goes for everybody, not just Justin, everybody. You can either rat yourself out, tell the truth what you did, be honest, and the Lord will be with you. Or you can try and snake away on your little evil deed and try and get away with it, and the Lord will not be with you. Those are your options. And I told him, I said, I guarantee you the Lord is telling me right now, I am speaking right now. This is the Lord telling me right now, you are at a crossroad. You either do the right thing and the Lord will be with you, or You don't, and the Lord won't be with you. It's time to go through the door. And he wouldn't do it. And when I came home, I said, Lord, show me the thing about Justin. Just confirm it. I told you, I opened up an 800,000 word book, and it said crossroad, exactly what I had said. Exactly. And I know 100% that's where we're at. We are at a crossroad. Do y'all know that the enemy is putting out these weird little Lego, videos? Going on real quick. So the one that they're going to hit, the one that they've agreed to hit, is Skylight. Shahid 136. There you go. Shahid in Arabic means a witness or testifier, implies observing or being present. It denotes a person who sees an event as a witness. It is one of the 99 names of Allah in Islam, the all-observing witness. So Shahid means all-observing witness in Islam. Okay, now, what about 136? 136 means master and Lord. Master and Lord, Lord. So their little Iranian cryptic message is Master and Lord, Shahid, Allah, right there. So, and you have the Kaaba by the inside trader. Obama's committed treason, you guys. He came up with a fake narrative to try and jail Donald Trump. I'm not some big Donald Trump fan. I'm just saying Obama committed treason with Clapper, Brennan, Comey, all of them. They're treasonous. They were the monster taking over from the inside to arise from the depths. That's why Obama's library is the cornerstone, Kaaba having risen. I mean, it's not arguable. That's what it is. Serpent race is an insect race from the abyss, locusts from the abyss. That's why you see all these people like Lady Gaga birthing locusts with locusts on their dress. The Vatican is a big locust harvesting light semen. I mean, it's all the same, guys. Once you have the common denominator, like the Lord's let me see, you can't argue with it anymore. It is what it is. So now they're showing Obama's library, and they're bringing into the forefront everybody's view on YouTube. Oh, look at Trump's library, how cool it is, and how Obama's is this big monolith. Which it is, but it represents this. It represents the risen Kaaba, you guys. It represents the insects out of the pit. I mean, have you ever watched those guys go around the Kaaba and sped up the reel a little bit? Have you ever watched ants go around their hole when there's like, a situation at the ant mound? Have you ever watched the similarities? Yeah, it's an insect race. I know it's hard to believe, but what does the Bible say? The angel of the abyss is the angel of what? The locust. He's the king of the locusts. He's the king of the scorpions from the pit. And he's rising out of the abyss. And the Kaaba is a representation of the female and their cornerstone. They kiss it because it inverts you. You get it? The demon's cornerstone is praising what inverted the angels. Again, the demon's cornerstone is praising what inverted the angels. That's it. Okay, now it's solved. It's solved 7 ways from Sunday now. Anyway, so there it is, and we'll put it on every channel we got. Just time's close. We're at the crossroads, guys. Anyway, I love you guys in Christ. Peace and grace. Got a ton on my plate, guys. Keep us all in prayer. We got a lot going on. All right.